One of the great things about being in the chair, and listen, it's been great, you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. Truly enjoyed it. That said, I get to do things my own way, which I like, which means that we can do all the baseball we want. So I want the post game to be just baseball, just pitch clock, which means we get to get Juju right now.
I like pitch clock. I had watched it for the first time. It was like a month or two ago. And I text Jeremy right after. I was like, hey, man, I just watched pitch clock for the first time. It show's a lot of fun.
It was really nice. I really appreciated that. And it's been really cool because last week 2 weeks ago, we got the most views that we've ever gotten on an episode of the pitch clock. It keeps increasing. And it's been really exciting. Chris Cody being a huge part of that, constantly kicking my ass in trivia is, I think, a big reason why people like to see me suffer.
You're doing great,
but it's been a lot of fun. It's been great, and now we're getting to the most important part of the season.
You got to stay with things. It's a grind. But guess what? Juju's starting right now with
Thursday Thunder.
Yeah.
Which is presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. Go ahead, Juju.
Yes, sir. Welcome back to Thursday Thunder. We took a knot on the head last week from Jake Paul. Roundhouse knocked us clean out. But this week, we back, baby. First off, we starting with my sister, 6th Woman of the Year candidate, Most Improved Woman of the Year candidate, Naz Hillman from the Atlanta Dream, going to face the Chicago Sky tonight. She will get over 10 big ones tonight. 10 points for Naz Hillman. Lock it in. Second leg, we're traveling to the Valley. We got some people returning to the Valley. And I don't think my sister is going to like people returning to the Valley. Kalea Copper, I think she's going to have something big to say about people coming to the Valley tonight. So lock in her for over 15.5 points tonight against the Indiana Fever. And the last leg, that so-and-so who's returning to the Valley, my sister, Sophie Cunningham, pulling up to the scene of the crime, allegedly. She's going to get over 8 points tonight against her former team because she's going to want to show them. And I feel it. Lock it in. Thursday Thunder, the crown is yours.
I think it's very clear to me, Juju, that Sophie Cunningham needs to be a part of that because she needs some money. She keeps getting fined, Juju. What's going on with that? And why is it is it $500 or $300?
It's $500.
When is she going to stop?
Right.
Is she that rich like it doesn't matter?
Yeah, fortunately, my sister got a bankroll sitting tall, and she got a lot to say, especially with her having that new podcast. I predict she's going to get a couple fines down the line as well, but my sister, her wallet's ain't thin. She got it. She going to support it, and she going to say what needs to be said.
So she's been very critical of officials, right? That's what the fine is?
Yeah, she's been critical of officials, and she's doing it on her podcast. It's a new podcast that, Mike, it's a real podcast. It's not a fake one. But she keeps doing things that get her fined like she's some sort of spokesperson for the truth, like speaking truth to power. But at some point, I think you say to yourself, wow, I need a different approach.
The first one was a TikTok video that she did, and then it was like text. She didn't really say anything. It was just like a trend, but she added the refs, and then they fined her $500. And then in the first episode of her podcast, she was critical of the refs again, so they fined her $1,500.
Oh, so it has been going
It's been escalating. It's been getting more and more, these fines.
Oh, then she's got to stop now. I assume that's it then. She's done.
I don't know, man. I think somebody we should chip in and help her pay some of these fines, some people around the world, because if you're watching these games, you will see these referees are inconsistent, to say the least. You feel me? My bad, Billy. I cut you off.
No, I was going to say, it's getting attention for her podcast, but if it keeps getting higher and higher at a certain point, how much money are they going to fine her and how ridiculous is it going to get? Because the WNBA can't fine anything too ludicrous either based on what they pay their players. So it's not like they can fine her $20,000 if her salary is $70,000 or something. So it's got to be $1,500 seems kind of high on the scale of what fines would be.
And at the end of the day, what she's doing, you say, Juju, that the refereeing is inconsistent. I'm pretty sure that we talk about every sport with umpires, referees. There's inconsistencies everywhere. But she's doing something that's making her get fined. It feels like she's doing it on purpose. That's where I need your help, that she's doing it for a purpose. Therefore, you have to counter that with a fine where she will realize that the juice is no longer worth it and she will stop. I assume that's what the WNBA will do.
I think the juice is definitely worth it. And I've been trying to find out approaches and avenues on my show, The Alley Oop, which needs your help, ladies and gentlemen. Like I say, we on it was Oddball Hoops, but we changed it to DLS Hoops on YouTube. Subscribe if you can. Even if you don't watch women's basketball, just come over there and tell us about how you feel. Why do you hate it? Tell me how much you hate me. Just please pull up on us. We're not a part of the LeBatard feed, neither here nor there. But on that show, I'm trying to figure out avenues on how I can become a referee. Should I do some high school games? Should I do some middle school games? I want to work my way into being a WNBA referee because something has to change.
You got to work your way up. You can absolutely start by doing high school games. And that is what, first of all, did you guys see what happened with Jen Powell?
Amazing.
No, I didn't see it.
Nobody? Jen Powell is the first female umpire in Major League Baseball history.
That'll be this weekend.
She's doing Marlins games this weekend, and she's got the plate on Sunday.
Nice.
She's got the plate, and I hope that we criticize her. I want equal opportunity criticizing. We have to give her the business. When she gets the calls wrong, Juju, you got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like my dog Mike said a couple weeks ago, and also how we discussed on the Alley Oop a couple weeks ago with Tian Tran and Katie Kershaw from the Jocular podcast. We should be allowed to hate some WNBA players in the same way that we hate NBA players. My dog ain't wrong, man. If you want to hate Angel Reese, as long as it's basketball, hate away. So I hope sister get them calls right Sunday, or guess what? She's wrong, and let's attack.
So this is interesting, right? Because in the other sports, you have female referees in basketball. You have you don't see it in hockey in the NHL. I don't think there's any female officials. You have it in the NFL. There's female umpire, not umpire, but there's side judge, line judge, back judges. Yeah. And the difference between those sports and baseball, the officials in the other sports, they don't engage with the player who is angry at a call. They're actually supposed to de-escalate the situation. But in Major League Baseball, with the home plate umpire, they escalate the situation every now and then because they argue back with the player or manager who is yelling at them. Like that'll be an interesting look if she gets into an argument with the player or the manager. We've never seen that before.
I think, what about Violet Palmer, Juju? She was, I think, 1997 became an NBA referee, so been around for 25 years. And I would assume she's ejected players.
Absolutely, but there's no arguing. They don't yell.
She just hears the.
They argue in basketball.
And then
they argue.
Well, I mean, she may say something. She tees you up, throws you out, peace, and then you're told to walk away at that point. Major League Baseball umpires, they'll go nose to nose and yell with you.
So you're worried about the kicking of the dirt?
No, I'm not worried about the kicking of the dirt. I just think it's an interesting scenario that you could potentially have a manager or a player and, for the first time ever, a female umpire just nose to nose and yelling at each other. That's an interesting optic, no?
Yeah. Like last year, Joel Embiid had an incident where he got a technical foul and I think an ejection, and he had to be restrained, held back for wanting to get at the referee who was a lady. So, yeah, that poses an interesting dynamic, especially to see, right? Right.
But doesn't that mean that it's working?
She knows what she's.
We did it.
Yeah, you're right.
We did it, David.
I believe that is when you know you have equality.
Like we've arrived.
So
how about us?
We're very progressive. We're a very progressive society.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that if Joel Embiid goes after a referee, because that's what he does, he should not see. The whole purpose is don't see the gender.
Sometimes equality looks like Title IX. Sometimes it looks like a neon green dildo being thrown on a playing surface. These are all steps.
You have to walk before you can crawl.
Right. Also, I agree earlier what you guys said about this is the wrong type of progress with ESPN. Do I got to subscribe now? Is my YouTube TV going to handle it? Like, I think the varicose veins were worth it. I support it. I would name them the Joker of the week if I hadn't already given it to Kenny Bednarik. You can't push me and then try to shake my hand in my face. Stick with one or the other. Don't push me. But at the same time, I agree 100%. And good luck if you subscribe through Apple and you just get a receipt at 9:30 p.m. Eastern time and says, thank you for your payment to who?
Juju.
I don't even know what I just paid.
Juju, what are these billing cycles? I get an email from Apple like every 3 days. Hey, here's your receipt. How am I getting a receipt on the 17th? That doesn't make any sense. They scatter these. They count on you just being confused by it.
You probably signed up on the 17th.
No, that's not. That is not an option.
That's exactly how
Bill
it happens.
me on the same exact day so I can get a flood of bills and be like, what the hey?
It starts the day you subscribe.
No.
You have to press the button, Mike.
No.
Now I'm getting worked up.
No.
Because you were now trying to cast it.
Hey, excuse me. Sir.
You signed up on the 17th.
Bull. Because I just bought a car yesterday. I got to pay that mother on the 1st.
Nice
I bought
car.
a house on the 27th. I got to pay that mother on the 1st.
Nice car.
Don't do that. What? Because I have Instagram Premium now? I'm married to the 14th? Everything on the 1st.
Juju, thank you. Do you have any polls before you go?
Yes, man, that
Like
was
how
wonderful.
Mike's doing?
That's the second time Mike done wowed me today. Also, we
Hell
had
of a
to
day
say
for
about
Mike.
Trump earlier. Oh my
Hell of a
goodness,
day
the
for
crowd
Mike.
went
Great day
wild.
for Mike.
You wanted
YouTube
veins?
chat loved it.
I give you veins. All I want to know is
I
where
can
I can
see
watch Backlash.
All the veins.
The Lord's cable.
Juju, we need Mike to take a breath, maybe take a sip, get a shake.
Yes, sir.
Did we
had
do
one.
any polls? I'm sorry, this whole week I feel like I've ignored the poll system because I've just tried to do baseball and make it my own.
It's all good. You haven't ignored the shirts, and they've been wonderful, brother.
Oh,
but we
my
had
man.
one good poll today, one important one. Do you call it a pocketbook or do you call it a purse?
Single digit.
85% of the audience says they call it a purse.
15% is a win for you, David. I can't believe 15%.
You thought it would be 99 to 1.
I don't even believe those 15% that they call it a pocketbook.
Those 15% are 70-year-old Jewish women.
But how great
Who knew
would
that
it
we
be?
had that many in our demographic?
Exactly. You're welcome. DraftKings.
You're about to have a hell of a lot more if you keep losing weight, pal.
Ew.
Juju, thank you, man.
Thank y'all.
How special that we got Juju not on a post game. Got him here.
Now you're doing what you want, you know?
This is
Big
this
mocker.
is how it's gonna. Big macher. God, we didn't speak enough Yiddish this week. I really was hoping to speak more Yiddish.
Translation on all of them, please.
Yiddish macher is like a big man, or I wanted to say schmeckel.
BMOC.
Wanted to say schlep.
Ah.
Wanted to say so. There's so many things you can do. Schmuck. I mean, there's a lot of things, not like Mike, which causes everyone to go crazy because he's swearing like a drunken soldier.
The one I use the most is schwitzing. And then
Schwitzing
when I'm
is
sweating,
great.
I'm schwitzing in here.
That means
For the
sweat.
record, I don't like the Browns anymore. You don't have to ask me the question through a Browns fan prism. I'm just as confused as regular NFL fans as to why they have 17 quarterbacks, why they drafted one in the 3rd and one in the 5th, how Joe Flacco is back, and how we're just learning that he's Italian and how that's being reported on when I thought that was – he's Italian! I thought that was implied because of the last name.
I thought he was Jewish.
Flacco?
Yeah. I
don't know enough about the tribe to know
I'm
like,
not
the
sure
names,
we've
but
had. I mean, have we had a Jewish quarterback since Fiedler?
What about the guy?
Starting quarterback, at least?
What about the guy with the matzah, BYU, who had to leave BYU?
Retzloff?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He was
Yep.
Jewish.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in the NFL, starting quarterback since
Bernie
Fiedler?
Kosar?
Kozar's
Not
not Jewish.
Dan
We had
Marino.
Josh Rosen for a minute.
Yes. There you
Chosen
go.
Rosen.
There you go.
Dr. Rosen? I need to bring to your attention that I tried last night. You asked me before what I do after the show.
Yeah.
And
Just
I
wondering
forgot
what
to
you
mention
do.
there's something very important that I do. Yesterday, I tried to learn the difference between AI and not AI so I could improve sort of.
Because you got fooled.
Because I got fooled. And it turns out I came across an interview that was Florida adjacent. A newscaster did a interview with a kid who got killed in the school shooting in Parkland.
Hold on. He did an interview with the kid who got killed.
Yes, and it was an AI avatar.
It was insane.
Was it like a made up kid or it was
it was
real
Joaquin
kid.
Oliver.
That's awful.
It was truly one of the most
I don't like
despicable
that.
things I've ever seen.
That's awful.
It's the same thing. Is that your view though of like the Tupac? What's it called when?
It's a slightly different
The hologram?
thing.
Hologram.
It's a slightly different
I
thing
think it's a way
to
different thing.
create an AI version of a minor
Yeah, at least
who
Tupac,
was
it's
murdered,
for like entertainment. you know?
and this to get his opinion on things and basically regurgitate what you think through the voice and image of a young
That's
person
disgusting.
who was killed.
So just to be
gun
clear,
violence. Yes.
does it work that whatever the AI was answering was according to what he was programmed to answer by the interviewer?
I don't know, right? Maybe there's a world in which the AI is programming some of the things that his father, Manuel Oliver, has said about Joaquin. Either way, it's disgusting. Like, it's truly and utterly grotesque.
So no permission was granted. Is the assumption? Did
Why-
anyone else-
that's the assumption
It
I'm
was
making.
granted by his parents.
Yeah,
So
it had to have
still, either
But then
way,
why
I
are
feel
we-
like it's just to use the likeness of, at this point, right? Like to use AI to recreate this child.
Am I hearing this correctly? You said that the parents did grant
That
the
that
permission?
does change.
So-
that does change it a little bit for me.
So-
It does. It changes it.
All right,
but
according to Variety, and I'll
Man.
just read you the first two
gross.
paragraphs here for some context. Jim Acosta, the former CNN chief White House correspondent, who now hosts blah, 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 whatever, published an interview with AI-generated avatar of Joaquin Oliver, who died at age 17 in Parkland, in the Parkland school shooting in 2018. The interactive AI was created by Oliver's parents, who granted Acosta the first quote-unquote interview with the recreated version of their son on what would have been his 25th birthday.
Can we now get a re-vote?
Yeah, it's
Still
a little,
odd.
It's a little
I
different to
still-
me now.
It's
Yeah,
a little
it's
different.
Yeah, it's different now. Yeah.
I still find the
it's still
decision
kinda
making
gross.
pretty
I
gross.
personally don't like it, but I feel different about it now.
I felt like all of what Billy read was implied. I don't think Jim Acosta would just go rogue and like this is no doubt provocative. It's certainly dicey and worth criticism, but I thought the buy-in from the parents was implied. Jim Acosta does have a reputation. So I thought that it was certainly
I didn't
above
realize
board
it.
with the parents,
I
no
didn't realize
doubt.
Do you remember the movie I, Robot?
Yeah, it was horrible.
Try to forget it.
Love that movie.
I would
Love
never
Bridget
see that
Monahan,
movie.
Tom
Awful.
Brady's ex. Love Will Smith in that movie, the whole package. But one of the things is a hologram appears, and the guy gets to basically live forever with messages to the current people post-death.
Mm-hmm.
The concept here that I thought interested me is that once we die, we have a chance to live on looking at our best.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, he looked great. He never will age. Spewing messages that are his, actually his, with parental control or spousal control or family control and permission.
That's up to debate as to whether or not they're his, because he's no longer around to speak for himself. That it's dicey, but Jim Acosta, as a journalist, if this is presented to you, you deduce however you can through your ethics as to whether or not this is something that you should do. There is an interest
why
to it.
do it? Why?
That's
But
fine.
this is not journalism.
No, it's not journalism.
It's all shock value. There's not like why.
I will say that this isn't the first time that we've seen something like this. This is the first time that we've seen a journalist interview a victim like this. We've seen journalists interview AI before when doing AI stories, and we've seen attorneys turn to AI and have victims who are no longer here speak in the courtroom as themselves and speak about
That
their
counts
family.
as a testimony?
I've seen these clips.
Can't
where-
someone write the
No,
script?
they're not witnesses. It's
Time
for
outs.
effect. It's for closing arguments where they say, look,
Oh, okay.
and
How's
the
that
victim
allowed?
the victim was speaking
It's
to
not testimony.
the alleged shooter, saying what he took away from him. I was a hardworking man. I was a military veteran. I was a
It's a
parent.
victim impact statement done by a victim. It's not testimony. It is not.
Correct.
The jury doesn't get to use that in its deliberations. So let's make sure we're.
No, thank you for helping me clarify. But yeah, it's all for effect.
Can
It's
I
not
ask
a
you
witness.
something? What do the parents gain from allowing this? Like, what are they trying to
They want their child to keep living with and not have it happen to any other children.
I think that's a point that this, you can disagree with it, but they feel like they're helping with this, and you're talking about it and bringing attention to a cause that is very clearly close to a lot of people's hearts.
Look, the way I responded to it was at this point under the assumption, genuinely, that I wasn't sure that the parents were involved, and I was just so frustrated because we have seen these misuses of AI. We have seen, whether it's the Tupac thing or way worse with deep fakes of all sorts of different stuff, people using AI for their own confirmation bias on whatever topic, left, right, down the middle, it doesn't make a difference. I still am kind of grossed out by it because, like we were just sort of saying, this child is gone. And you doing your own advocacy on behalf of your child is one thing. To generate their image or likeness for your own mourning is another thing. To then use that to preach a political message through his words, through his voice, is a third thing that does feel like a potentially a bridge too far. And look, how am I to judge parents who have lost their child and are trying to figure out how to use their lives to sort of, I guess, defend his or make sure that what happened to him doesn't happen to anyone else. But it just feels like we have already opened the floodgates on AI in a way that is really, really problematic, and we're not going to go back. And the more that things like this just become acceptable, no different than the way we talked about within politics, where things have just gotten to this place that's so out of control that we allow things that 10 years ago would have been insane to consider. I'm worried that we're going to continue to justify things that go this direction, where today, yes, it's with permission, but tomorrow, where do we go from
my words,
there?
Jeremy, 10 years from now, you'll look back at this, and this will be good and plenty
it'll be
compared
quaint.
to an entire cake of candy.
You'll be living inside the Oculus Rift by then anyways. But while I know that you're concerned, and everybody is, I will remind you that AI told Billy earlier today that Hideo Nomo hit a 575
Yeah,
foot
in
home
Japanese
run.
All-Star game.
Also, Sage
At the Tokyo
Rosenfels.
Dome.
in the Tokyo Dome?
1995.
I don't know if you... So I tried to better myself last night doing this AI stuff, and I came across this. Then I came across another story, and I was ready to go public with it in the show. And our producer, Matthew Coca, the producer of Nothing Personal, said, wait a minute, may not be real, that Howard Stern got canceled, that the show got canceled.
So who do you trust on the Howard Stern beat?
How do you... I told Coca, what do you want from me? Because he keeps saying, you're wasting my time, because I'll text him ideas for stories, and he'll be like, these aren't real. And it's making me insane. So...
The headline said canceled, while the article said just not renewing. I don't know if we're
that's
difference.
not it. The question is it true that he is not being renewed, or that it's not renewing? Because we don't have the right sources yet, according to Coca.
Everything I've seen, and I stopped listening to Howard about 4 or 5 years ago. Before that, I was a religious listener every day for probably 25 years, since I was 16 years old. Wow. Every day on the school bus, I had my little radio, and I was a religious listener.
Did you get beat to a pulp? Sorry.
Why? Why would you say that?
No, he was a cool kid. Cool kids listen to Howard Stern.
So, I mean, a religious listener for 25 years. And I grew out of it a few years ago because, honestly, the show changed. Like, the show's not even remotely close to what it used to be.
Well, in that he's not off and on.
But I saw all the reports yesterday, and everything I'm reading, like I don't know what to believe, and everything I'm reading is, they're going to make him an offer, but it's going to be like a super low ball offer, which he obviously is going to have too much pride to accept, and it's going to come to an end, their relationship with SiriusXM. So I don't know what to believe.
I trust Jimmy Traina on the Howard Stern beat. He's reported on him. He's a fan of his, and this is what he had to say. There was a question posed to him on X. What are your thoughts on Stern? Why wouldn't Sirius let him make it seem like it was his choice? He responded to this by saying, I didn't want to get into this, but people have been asking me about this nonstop. The report, and he did quote, report in quotes, came from The Sun. Now, for the uninitiated, The Sun is a rag. It's a tabloid, and they get a lot of stuff wrong. You may be able to hold up a couple of things this tabloid has gotten right, but not super reputable. That was me editorializing. We continue with the tweet. If anyone believes that report, they are a very stupid person. His contract is up in December. He's on vacation until after Labor Day. His show did not get canceled. That still leaves room for it to not be renewed, but the report said it was canceled, and this has been co-opted by the right on social media, and
I've seen a lot of that.
The misinformation cycle has totally fanned the flames on this. Go woke, go broke, all that. He has not been canceled, and he's due to return after Labor Day.
Why wouldn't he have just said that we are back?
I mean, give him time. It's been 24 hours. He's on vacation.
You mean how he's on vacation?
No, but I'm saying that Jim Traina guy. It seems like he used the word canceled purposefully. And when you say it opens the door to non-renewal, you don't non-renew Howard Stern. They don't just call him like the day before the contract.
Right. It's SiriusXM probably has a good idea of what direction they're going in. That being said, the reports are inaccurate because he hasn't been canceled. By all indications, he's going to come back after Labor Day to do his show, and he wouldn't be doing that if he were canceled.
Well, is it canceled? Like, is it fair to say then that Colbert was canceled because that show is over, but obviously they're fulfilling the remainder of the contract?
Non-renewals and cancellations really are semantics. Like, it's effectively the same thing.
And Howard's shtick on air, I also, not as much now, but listen to Howard a lot throughout. His shtick for the last 10 years is, this is my last contract.
Oh.
Like, I guarantee
and it goes down to the wire.
That's
every
what I mean.
time.
Like, he could just go to air when he comes back from vacation and be like, I'm not renewing even if they wanted me.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. I don't have a
been
deal.
The running storyline for Howard every
right.
year for like 10 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a list of ways to confirm stories because Jim Traina, you would assume you can use that, but you can't use the Sun, and then blue checks don't matter anymore. Is it only CNN, Fox, MSNBC? I mean, do we just list the different main news outlets and say if it doesn't come from them, then it doesn't come at all? The whole thing has been bothering me because one day wasn't good enough, and I can't do it today, Zaz, because I'm leaving.
Here's also the thing. I mean, Howard's 71 years old.
So?
Oh, well, but like eventually he's going to stop doing the show.
He's made billions with an S off of this show.
Stop doing it eventually.
And every contract, he does the show less and less.
And talks about how badly he wants to not be
and how he
doing the show.
hates leaving his house.
It just rings familiar. I can't figure out
I understand
how.
this seems like spin, but if it is spin, it's a brilliant spin from the king of all media because he's been planting the seeds for this exact spin for close to a decade.
Yeah.
So you think he is at the root of this? Now, this is an angle I didn't think about.
I couldn't believe the last contract that he got. It doesn't really none of the SiriusXM contracts that Howard Stern has received seem to make a lot of financial sense, and yet he keeps getting them, and every time everyone's bewildered, he does the show less, seemingly gets paid more, but along the way, as Zaz and Chris has said, he said, I don't think I'm going to do this much longer. This is probably my last contract.
I think what the politics of it have been is that there is some sort of thought, and Dan had this thought on this show, that the Colbert, we had an issue. I was a guest one week, and I explained that the Colbert issue was totally financial related, and his view is no, it was totally political related, and the fact that he had criticized the deal with CBS and Paramount, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I mean, Howard would be in that.
Yes.
Yeah, his show got very political.
He's critical of the right.
Right, so that's what people are saying is that SiriusXM, and what I would argue is that SiriusXM looks at its bottom line, they look at his show, and they say, well, wait a minute, what we're paying him, the billions with an S, total in totality, we no longer can do that. So then we go to Howard Stern and say, okay, we can talk about a renewal, but you're used to X, it's now going to be Y. And when people are told that their value has changed, they tend to not want to do the same job. If you go to Colbert and say, please keep doing this, but we can only afford to pay you $3 million, he's going to say pound sand.
Howard's going to spin this into a win, and he shouldn't address this story whatsoever until he returns from vacation after Labor Day.
He's just in the Hamptons. I mean,
right.
He's able to, I mean, I don't know what
Yeah,
he is,
he's
but in
able,
theory,
but why would he do that? That doesn't serve him. What serves him is being quiet, let other people spread around their opinions on the matter, and he returns from vacation after Labor Day, and then you hear it from the horse's mouth.
And just by saying, I told you so, I guess it's a good plan. I guess
that would be the plan. That would be the way that Howard Stern would always leverage this type of chatter. He's the king of all media.
The king.
He'll spin it of like, they think I want to come back?
Okay, so I have not made progress, is the bottom line. AI versus not AI. What's a good story? What's true? What's
I don't think
not
there's
true?
a way to make progress.
Everybody else seems to do it. Mike seems to say to
No.
everyone his age and that I'm an old guy. And
No,
that's
Mike
why I
definitely
can't.
gets fooled sometimes with that kind of stuff. I get fooled, I don't know all the time, but I definitely get fooled.
I've gotten fooled.
Yeah.
There's just things you have to check. Like,
I mean, I think you're just upset that you got, like, really taken for a ride with that story of the couple
Like,
who was lost at
I
sea.
saw that story and I was like, this looks fishy. And I Googled it and it was like fake news story, fake news story.
The things that are easiest to fool you are the things that you want to believe. For example, there's a video of the president doing his dance on the roof. I looked at that. I'm like, man, I really
that's
wish
not
that
real?
was real. No,
See, I didn't know.
it's not real. He
I
didn't
don't
do
know.
that.
I don't know.
But just to show you how far gone we are, no joke, when I saw one of my campers when I was there last week, he follows me on Instagram, and the picture that we shared a couple weeks ago of me as like my all-county photo playing baseball from high school.
We didn't share that.
He said, well, hold on. We shared it on the show. It wasn't my decision. But he saw that photo, and he said, wait, that's a real photo of you? I thought it was AI. It's just a photo of me at 17.
Because you looked thin? Oh, because you were tall. Which was it? Tall,
not
short,
tall,
itching?
Good at
or
sports.
thin,
Good at
just-
sports.
Because you were the
My face looked a
almost
little
a job.
different because I was 17 years old. Also, Sage Rosenfeld's not Jewish, but turns out JT Daniels and Aaron Murray, both of their moms are Jewish.
and Rod Carew.
Well,
You
converted.
converted. Yeah.
That's
And AJ Dillon.
How does that
Actually,
not count?
I believe
does.
that's
He denied that to
yeah,
Adam
it's a rumor.
Sandler.
It's incorrect. He wore a
he-
Jewish star.
Yeah, but
He
that's a
denied
different
it
thing.
to-
There are plenty of
Jerry Judy
players in the
wears a
Dominican
Jewish
Republic
star
as
also.
well
Yeah.
who will wear the Star of David but are not Jewish.
I don't think I ever saw a Dominican player in my career wear a Jewish star.
Yeah, I saw it
Who?
in the academy, the Mets academy, when I was
Like recently,
living there.
or
No,
when you were
2016,
in the academy?
when I was there for 2.5 months.
Flamed out, elbow hurt.
Not playing there to teach English, but that's a story for another day.
That's nice of you. It's an eye wash when we pay people to teach the Dominican players.
Wasn't
English.
paid college credit.
Yeah, that's how it works. And then we get to say, hey, look, we're trying to take care of these players.
I mean, I
But we're
did
not.
my best. I tried to help them.
But you are.
We're
I did
not.
teach them things.
There's no
Just for
tests.
optics.
It's optics. Once they're
But
released,
even if the teachers do a good job, it's still just for optics.
yeah, because once we realize that they're not going to be big leaguers and we're not even going to use a visa,
Andres
on them,
Jimenez was there.
We just
All-star.
let them go.
Gold
Once
Glover.
in a while. I mean, of
Ahmed
course, you're
Rosario.
gonna get gold.
Yeah, they were really good.
Do you know the majority of those players though don't make it?
Oh, the majority of them are cut after a year.
And they
no,
just
it's
we
a
send them right back
rough,
to
like-
where they are, and it's terrible.
Yeah, it's really rough.
But they
Like,
got to meet Jeremy, so
And by the way, they
Lucky
all
them.
sign up for it. They all want to be in the academy. If they can be in for a year, they will do it and then get to talk about it forever. And it's a part of their life, and we totally take advantage of it. And I feel terribly about it, but we're not the only
No,
not
you
so
don't.
sure you
No,
do.
you do. No, you
I
don't.
didn't really
getting that
seem
sense.
like
Kind of con man over here.
This is not just the Marlins. This is all 30 teams do the exact same thing.
Oh.
Do not think we're special.
It's
We
the
are.
part when you say I feel terrible about it with a smile.
Yeah,
Well,
don't
because
believe
you understand that don't you feel for people when you're giving them a dream that you think can be attained, but you know it can't be, but they think it can be?
Jose Altuve is who everyone holds up
As Jewish?
As the example where a guy who was signed for no money, who had to try out for days and days and days and days, he wasn't even scouted, and then ends up getting signed and now has a Hall of Fame career. And every player, particularly Venezuelan players, look at him as this, shining star to hold up as an example of, if he can do it, so can I.
Borderline
He's a
Hall of Fame.
banger.
He's a freak, though.
Borderline Hall of Fame. He cheated.
Oh, okay. there you
Man,
go.
see, it is crazy. I was shocked. He got booed loudly every single at-bat.
Why is that a
at
shock?
Lone Depot Park. I'm surprised that people outside of maybe
It's been 8 years.
Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, the teams that the Astros beat in 2017, I'm pretty surprised that he still gets that treatment around the league, considering how great he's been since it happened.
It's like this show a little bit, in that the memories are very long, just very, very long.
It just surprises me, considering like a lot of the steroid guys didn't even get that. Like once it happened, A-Rod didn't get booed at every single park that he went to for the years after that. He got booed by certain fan bases, but there were plenty of places he went where it was fine, and he was the worst of them.
The worst of the steroid guys?
Well, in terms of the public reputation, right? Because it was twice that he had to admit to cheating. Twice. In a public interview after denying it. It was pretty rough. I mean, he didn't have to testify in front of Congress and ruin my childhood dreams. That was the worst day of my childhood.
The worst day of your
It
childhood.
was. I mean, I lived a pretty privileged childhood.
Like who
I
in
did.
particular was in front of Congress?
McGuire.
McGuire.
My favorite player of all time. I know Palmeiro did the. Mark McGuire is still to this day my favorite baseball player
Not
of all time.
Not here to talk about the past.
That was the worst part of your childhood?
It was awful. I cried watching that.
Are your parents still married?
Yep.
So
that's why it was the worst. Yeah. No, I've lived a really privileged
life. Have you ever
life.
had a mole removed?
Oh yeah, that sucks.
Wisdom teeth?
Yeah, but that was kind of funny.
Mark?
Yeah, it was kind of funny. I had really big chubby cheeks.
You break a bone ever?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just asking like top line stuff. Ever get caught cheating?
Emotionally, that was rough.
Yeah. Did you ever get caught cheating?
I cheated on
a girlfriend.
I cheated on a homework in my 7th grade Spanish class, and I just used to write like random words in because I knew she didn't check. And then the one time Senora Costa checked the work, and she saw that all I was writing, I was like banana, apple, like just writing not even words in Spanish, and she checked and she gave me the I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed, and oh man, it was awful.
But McGuire was worse.
McGuire was way worse. Awful.
Seems like you were the McGuire Spanish class. Yeah. Doing it for a
guess I
long
was.
time. You finally got caught. I mean, how long were you manipulating Senora Acosta?
A couple months.
Wow.
Oh, that's not as bad. McGuire was years.
Well, if she's out there listening, I
he's
just hope she
admitting
knows I still feel bad about it. I really do.
I don't think so.
I
You're
just
like David, I don't
immediately
believe
it came to mind.
You're smiling.
You are smiling, and your smile looks great, like your arms.
Thanks.
Thank you, everybody. So before we go, Zaz, Billy, Roy, Mike, Cody, Jeremy, I've enjoyed this.
What?
And now it's time for me to go.
Oh.
That's it. You had me here for 4 days, and Mike, the first 5 minutes of our Nothing Personal interview, memorable.
Better than my appearance?
The audience was all over it.
David, I'd say this week you made it weird only 3 times.
Hey, all right, yeah.
Yes.
You hit the under. Yay.
Like
What
seriously.
was the over-under?
6.5.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's crushing.
You had a great
the
week,
over-under.
dude.
Push show.
Did anyone hear from our dad, Dan? Nary a word. Nary. Guess what? I'm coming back. That's what I'm going to do.
Uh-oh.
And Zaz?
Is that a threat?
Yeah, it's a promise, baby. I'll be back.
Look, every crew's got roles. On a team, on a group text, at a watch party. You've got the stat nerd, the vibes guy, the one who thinks they're the coach, and then there's the real MVP, the person that brings the cooler. And what's in that cooler? If it's not Miller Lite, I'm checking the roster. It's the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. 50 years of showing up in big moments. Post-game tailgates, NBA watch parties, road trips to road games where you swore the refs were out to get you. Through it all, that clean, crisp Miller Lite taste just gets it done. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs. It's light, but it doesn't tap out early. You're over there arguing over who the GOAT is, shouting about NIL deals, someone's grilling. Miller Lite is always there, playing its role to perfection. Brewed for taste, simple ingredients, a legend since 1975, and still a first ballot Hall of Famer in my cooler. Miller Lite. Great taste. 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller Lite. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Welcome to the Pitch Clock. Here's the pitch. A 2-part baseball segment
combining a nostalgic baseball trivia game and an interview with an expert.
This is the Pitch Clock.
Interesting how you knew Reggie Jackson. That one.
Okay, so let's get this straight. You think that
Hi, everybody.
Are we talking about last week?
Yeah, last
Okay.
week's show. You think that...
Well, there was a controversy. If you didn't join us last week, Jeremy walked
Everybody joins us every week.
Jeremy walked into a room holding a paper and I was just like, that guy clearly
You
looked at
have
that
to
paper.
understand that even I could have looked directly at that paper.
You
I
should've
didn't
just
know
walked-
what the
you should just
categories
walk
were.
in normally, all right, I'm holding this paper, I haven't looked at it. But the extended arm is
I
just
didn't
like,
want to see it.
Yeah, but it's just the extended
I had
arm
to.
implies that you cheated right before that.
All right, well, this is the Pitch Clock, and Chris is just upset because he broke his win streak of 4. I won last week.
However, buddy. I know
And-
Taylor already
yeah,
did it, but
there it is.
people wait for me to do it.
So, Taylor, tell us what our game is for today.
Go ahead.
It's darts 501. So the objective of this darts game is for each individual to work their way down from 501. So if it's RBIs in a single season, whatever your number is, we're subtracting that from 501. You're trying to get as close to 0 as possible. The only difference between this and normal darts is that you guys have to go past 0.
So you have to be
and
a
then
dart.
whoever's the closest
you have to know
to
darts.
0.
I don't know. I don't know darts.
I'm with you. I kind of like when he first said darts 501. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? But there is a game where in darts you start at 501 and everything you hit, if you hit a 24, you get 24 off your score.
Okay.
The goal is the first team to whittle down to 0.
Okay.
From 501.
Cool we can go past 0, is what you're saying.
Yes. But once you go past 0, it's whoever's the closest to 0.
Okay, gotcha.
It's going to be best of 3. The first round is RBIs in a single season.
All right, so Chris.
All right, I'm gonna go.
You go ahead and go first.
Paul Konerko.
Paul Konerko's career high or single season high was 117.
All right, not
so
great.
Chris, you're
not
at
great.
3. You're at 384.
I was hoping he got to like 131 here, but go ahead.
I mean, so Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds' single season high
walks so much,
is 137. So Jeremy, you're at 364. You're at 384,
This
Chris
is
Cody.
such a fun game.
Yeah, I like
I just
this.
want to think of like random names. Like who's the guy? There's just these guys that could just like drive and
You
run.
could go as many rounds.
I'm gonna go with. Damn it! I'll just go Albert Pujols.
It's a good one.
Albert Pujols' career or single season high, 137. Chris Cody, you're at 247.
Miguel Cabrera.
It's confusing.
I know he led the league in RBIs. I just don't know at the time how many that was.
Triple crown.
Right.
Miguel Cabrera's career high in a single season
Attaboy.
was 139.
Oh.
So Jeremy, you're down to 225.
I am going to go with. I'll go A-Rod.
Alex Rodriguez's career high in a single season, 156 RBIs.
no way.
Chris Cody, you're down to 91.
Uh-oh. All right. Babe Ruth.
Different time.
Babe Ruth's career high in a single season, 168 RBIs. Jeremy, you're down to 57.
Uh-oh.
Told you it was a different time.
I'm not happy about that.
You guys, a reminder, you guys have to go past 0.
I think I'll go Hanley Ramirez.
That's a really good one, and mine.
I feel like his high's
You
gonna
ready
be
for
like
this?
103 or something.
Mine is from the exact same era of Marlins, so
Yeah.
we'll get to it in
Yeah.
just a second once Taylor lets me know where you're
He's
at.
probably had a 110 season.
He has had a 110 season. His single season high was 111 RBIs. So Chris Cody, your final score for this first game is minus 20.
Oof. So that means
Cody Ross.
Damn it.
Cody Ross's career high in a single season, 90 RBIs.
Yes!
That puts him at minus 33.
Let's go!
And that's going to be 1 point to Chris Cody.
Let's go.
That was with the Giants, wasn't it?
It was with the Marlins, 2009.
Dude, had a nice season.
And now we get to our 2025 Major League Baseball expert, the former radio voice, current TV voice in his first year on the television broadcast. It's Kyle Sielaff, who you guys might remember from some old clips on the Le Batard Show, playing around with Chris Cody and Billy Gill during spring training. Kyle, welcome to the show. Love the teal Marlins hat, and thank you for joining me today.
I know this is the best, isn't it? I was pumped when they wore them over the Hall of Fame weekend, so I had to grab one. But yeah, dude, it's great to be with you. It's bizarre. You and I are doing this when we're usually doing it on the broadcast together.
That's right. That's right. And I'm normally upsetting you with all sorts of weird pop culture references. But today we're doing baseball and baseball only. So you're here as the voice of the Marlins, and it's time to start with the Marlins. I've tried to avoid them as much as possible on this show, but now there's a real reason to discuss the Miami Marlins. And for the people who have not been paying attention, the Marlins just now snapped a streak of 6 straight series wins as the Astros take this series from them this week. They went from 16 games under on June 13th to 500 by August 3rd with a sweep of the New York Yankees. They're the youngest team in baseball. Kyle, how have they done it?
Yeah, it's a loaded question, but I think it's a good one. Look, on the surface, I think you point to the pitching. That's obviously been much better up until recently in the last couple of days. I think the coaching staff fits perfectly because in addition to having the youngest team in baseball, they have the youngest coaching staff.
Yep.
I think when you start to put all that stuff together, and you do have to start in the front office, and hey, I'll say this too, and I've said it on the broadcast, it's the most unsexy thing in the world, but ownership has invested tens of millions in dollars to the infrastructure of the organization. I promise you, prior to them spending this kind of money, they had no chance because they weren't going to keep up with the rest of the league. It required tens of millions of dollars just to be competitive, just to stay with the industry standard, whether that's literal human bodies or technology and computers and all this stuff to give them a fighting chance. That to me is really where it starts. Without that stuff, I don't think they're any good. Again, you start to put all that stuff that I just said together, you can start to understand why they're having success. So again, I know that's a lot, but it's way beneath the surface of just, well, they're pitching really well. It's going so much deeper than that to give them a chance to win here.
And so now I do want to give you an opportunity to highlight a player here. So I'm going to pick 3. You know, we talked about the pitching. I'm going to bring it to the starting lineup at the moment. You got Kyle Stowers, who you and I both have been advocating to at least get some MVP votes and consideration, considering what he's done for this team and booing them in the early parts of the season before they got hot. There's Agustin Ramirez, who leads nearly every single offensive category amongst rookies, certainly in the National League. And then there is Jacob Marcy, who basically has lit the world on fire in his first 5-6 games here. You know, had a historic opening weekend, has shown a lot of patience at the plate, ability to drive the ball, and has made some pretty spectacular plays in center field. So, Kyle, I know it's tough to pick one, but between Stowers, Ramirez, and Marcy, let's focus on one of them and give these folks an opportunity to hear some more.
Yeah, I think it's Kyle Stowers. Last season, Kyle Stowers had an OPS plus, Jeremy, of 54. Whoa. He was 46% worse than league average. If you told me at the end of last season, and the Marlins made the decision to designate Kyle Stowers for assignment, I think there's a chance that 29 other teams pass on him. He clears waivers, he ends up off the 40-man, and he's a 4A player in Jacksonville. His OPS plus, and you and I are chatting at 10:15 in the morning on August 6th, prior to Game 3 against the Astros, is 155. He is literally 101% better year over year. To me, just to look at that one number, to literally be, per the data and the analytics, 101% better version of yourself year over year in less than a year's time in the major leagues, doing something that I personally think is the hardest to do than any other professional sport.
So now we've got a new category.
Career wins for a pitcher.
Oh, good Lord.
Who the hell's the all-time leader wins? I'm just because I can't think right now and I need a second, I'll go Randy Johnson first.
Randy Johnson had 303.
Wow, just got
So
there.
Chris Cody, you're going to be at 198.
This is going to be a short one.
Yeah, and it's going to be so short because I know that I'm about to go over. If I'm going to guess in my brain, it's 514, and it's Cy Young.
Cy Young had 511 wins.
Why
so
would
Jeremy's
you pick
gonna
pitchers wins if it was going to be able to get just one name and the game's over? Okay.
I didn't think he was going to guess Cy Young.
Well, what else was I going to do? My boy Cy Young that I know is over 500 wins.
The guy that's the pitching award is named after.
He also has the most losses.
Chris,
Let me guess.
you could
Heisman.
still...
Jeff Heisman.
Chris, you could still win this.
I know.
Yeah, easily.
Tell me the number I need.
Just-
what do I need here?
You need 198, but you have as many rounds to get it. Like, just you could name pitchers that you think could start chipping away at 198. Don't just guess.
Back-to-back weeks.
Don't just
where
guess
Taylor
a Hall
gives
of
a
Famer.
strategy to Chris.
I like
Interesting. Interesting bias that's happening.
Sandy Alcantara. I'm gonna trickle
You're
this
just
down.
gonna really chip away. God.
The time of the recording, Sandy Alcantara, 46 wins. So, Chris Cody, you're at 152.
You know what? I'll take a big chunk out here. Shohei Ohtani.
That's not that big of a chunk.
I'd say, like,
It's a chunk, though. It's a chunk.
I was going to say Trevor Rogers, so just be happy I said.
At the time of the recording, Shohei Ohtani, 38 wins. So, Chris Cody, you're down to 114.
That's so fun.
Keep chipping away, baby.
That's so
Right.
fun.
Trying to think of someone who's been in the league for like 3 years, but been damn good for like 3 years. I'm going to go well, this is not 3 years. I'll go Paul Skeens next.
I never got.
At the time of this recording, Paul Skeens has 16 wins. Right. I'll tell you right now, the way Chris is playing, a win is within range.
It totally is.
I got a good one that I think will help take a chunk out of this. Max Fried.
At the time of this recording, Max Fried has 84 wins, so Chris Cody's down to 14.
This sucks.
All right, I almost just said Trevor Rogers, but that might be too much. Hold on, that's not my guess. Yuri Perez.
Well,
did he get more than 10 last year? Oh, no. How long has he been around for?
At the time of this recording, Yuri Perez has 8 wins, so Chris Cody is down to 6.
Oh, that's even hard. Damn it, this is hard.
I know the name that's at the top of my head that I would go with just for fun, but I think it would make it even more difficult on him.
Screwball.
At the time of this recording, 51 times Chris Cody's at minus 45.
Wow,
yeah, dude. Can I tell you? I would have gone
50 wins already.
I was gonna go. First of all, I think if you would guess Trevor Rogers, you would have beat me.
Trevor Rogers, he had 18 wins.
Yep, I knew it. I can't believe that you literally from your second guess.
I know.
We're teasing Trevor Rogers.
Like
Incredible.
Let's talk about the Toronto Blue Jays, huh? They've stormed back from being a pretty mediocre team, by the end of May. A team that was just 2 games over 500 entering June, now sitting around 20 games over 500. Kyle, what's changed for them, and what makes this team so good as a bit of a surprise in the American League?
Yeah, I mean, I think they pitch pretty well again. I think if you don't get good pitching and you're constantly behind every night, it's hard to win. But go look at Nathan Lucas and Addison Barger and Alejandro Kirk, Ernie Clement, Joey Loperfido. Some of these guys that you've probably never heard of before are having great seasons, and they're huge complementary pieces to a team that's pitching well. The other thing, too, is I watch the Blue Jays a little bit when I get an opportunity to do so. They do every little thing right.
Yep.
Generally, mistake-free baseball. They don't bash their way to a win every night, but they just do every little thing right. And when they get on base, they'll put pressure on you. That leads to extra base hits or a base hit with 2 outs to score a run. So that's a real team. I don't think that's a fluke.
Let's take a look at the AL Wildcard race now that the Blue Jays have jumped into that first place spot in the American League East. And we could maybe pick a team to focus on here because there's a couple of AL East teams that we'll talk about. Red Sox, they've been surging, playing really good ball as well. Obviously, they had that Rafa Devers trade earlier in the year, and they've only played better since, have some guys who were really standing out and young players who were standing out. There's the Seattle Mariners, who were really aggressive at the deadline. They acquire Eugenio Suarez. They acquire Josh Naylor, who's like stealing bases at a record rate since he's been acquired. Pretty funny. And then there's the Yankees, who have been falling apart at the seams. You watched it happen in Miami as the Marlins swept them. Which of those teams stands out to you that you want to highlight here, Kyle?
Well, Seattle and Texas. I think the American League West is going to get really interesting, Jeremy, down the stretch here. I think Seattle had the best trade deadline above anybody. Obviously, everybody knows how good their starting pitching is. But to go out and get Suarez and Naylor and put those guys around Julio Rodriguez and Cal Raleigh, that's a real team. I think if they get in, I honestly think the Seattle Mariners could win the World Series. I really do think that's how good they are. Nathan Eovaldi with the Rangers is an unbelievable story. Like, that guy's made like $1 million, and he's been doing this for 15 years, and he's aging like a fine wine with Jacob deGrom, who's overcome his injuries. But if I took a dark horse to win the World Series right now, I think it's the Seattle Mariners.
Kyle, I'm springing one thing on you real quick. I'm just going to look for a quick note. We normally do what we refer to as a golden era of baseball star of the week on this show. Just a quick note on Kyle Schwarber. We've talked to Kyle Sielaff. We've talked about Kyle Stowers. Kyle Schwarber has been ridiculous. Anything that you got on Schwarber?
I think he's the front runner to win the National League MVP. Every time they're down on their luck, they've lost a couple games, they need a big hit to extend a winning streak, that dude comes up, and it's generally not a single. It's like 35 rows deep somewhere.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
As long as I think he is in such good position to win the National League MVP. If he remains very steady, doesn't need to be elite in the final 2 months, I think he's going to win the National League MVP.
We have Kyle Schwarber winning the National League MVP, Kyle Stowers certainly the Marlins MVP and probably top 5. Kyle Sielaff, our MVP today. Thank you, Kyle. And now it's time for us to get back to our game with Chris Cody.
This round, to settle it, it's going to be...
I just wanted a game 3.
Yeah, okay.
Most strikeouts in a single season for a pitcher.
Okay. Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan's career high in a single season, 383 strikeouts. Ooh. Jeremy, you're down to 118.
Verlander.
That's a good one.
In 2019, Justin Verlander had 300 strikeouts. So that brings Chris Cody down to 201.
Perfect. Yeah, you know
Low
what?
Career highs, though. That's weird.
I've got one. Eric Gagne.
I like the strategy. I get what you're doing.
Eric Gagne's career high in a single season, 137. Jeremy is going to go over, but he's at minus 19.
I overshot it.
Which means I got to be under 220. Correct here? I'm at 201.
Yeah, you got to be under 220.
You just have to be closer
between 201
than minus 19.
Between 201 and 220.
Minus 19 is not bad.
I'm going to go with a guy that I don't think ever had, like, he was great in the playoffs, but I don't think of this guy as ever having, like, a dominant season where he would have had, like, 250, 260. And it's a Marlin.
Oh.
And I just picture his career high being somewhere in this range.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Josh Beckett.
Yeah, it's a good one, I think. It's got to... I wonder if he ever got to 200.
Chris Cody, you're at 201. Josh Beckett's career high in a single season was 2009 with the Red Sox. 199. You're down to 2.
Oh, my
no,
God.
That's terrible.
Oh,
right?
my God. Yeah, that's not good.
This guy I'm about to say, the buddy of mine that, like, he's not a buddy of mine, I just know who he is. He probably has, like, 47 career strikeouts. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those where it's like, damn it.
Oh, man.
But whatever, the pitch clock's running out on me, whatever. I'm just going to guess. I don't have a better guess. I'm trying to think of, like, catastrophic injuries after, like, 3 starts. I
got nothing.
Tyler Kinley.
Oh, Tyler Kinley. I bet. Oh, God.
He plays with the Rockies. He was with the Marlins. Like, he's probably played 5 seasons, but, like, he's like a...
I don't know.
He's not a reliever that gets used a lot.
I don't know. I
can tell.
I don't know.
You were at 2. He had 72 strikeouts. Chris Cody finishes at minus 70.
Wow. I win?
Muted.
What a
back-to-back?
Yep.
Back-to-back!
I ruined this.
Wow.
I had a chance at
Look, man, you know what's most important? That you start playing your best ball in August and September. And that's what's happening here, all right? End July on the right note. At the trade deadline, start things off right in August. I'm feeling good. Pitch clock. Way to go, Taylor. That was fun. We'll be back next week.